Okay, so let's talk about emotional management and why is it so hard to learn to manage our emotions? Well, there are many different reasons why it's hard to learn to manage our emotions. The first one being that this is a very new thing that's being introduced to society, right? So, as a parent, you think, oh, emotional management, that's a really good thing. That's a good thing for my child. Why did I not introduce this when they were younger? And that's because it's a new thing. It wasn't around when they were younger. And then you'll say, well, why didn't my parents teach me this? And it's the same answer. Again, it's a new thing. And it wasn't part of the vocabulary or social awareness when people like me were children. So it wasn't something that could be taught. But now we're at the point where this is something that needs to be taught. It needs to be taught to our children. Our children are highly sensitive. Our children are being diagnosed with mental illnesses. Our society is becoming more aware that there is more going on in the mind and the body than ever before, and we're not cut off from these things, right? Society is throwing words around like generational trauma, okay? So we're one of the first generations to come across this term generational trauma. It's always been there, but it's a new thing that we're aware of now. So now we've got this extra thing we've got to deal with, or these extra few things that we've got to deal with. And it's how do you integrate this? How do you integrate it to your life? How do you integrate it to your children's lives? And the answer is as soon as possible, right? So if you're like me and you're a little bit advanced in your years, then integrating these new things can be very, very challenging because you've got to go back and kind of do a lot of work on yourself in amongst all of the other things that you have to do with your life. If you're a child, it's easier to be introduced when you're young because you're being introduced to so many new things. This is just another thing to be added in, right? So the earlier you can introduce it, the better. Because things like emotional management have to become as simple as brushing your teeth, right? So when you're a child and you get taught to brush your teeth, you don't want to learn to brush your teeth, but the parents and the adults around you know the long-term value of it. So they encourage it, they enforce it in a very healthy way because it's of the value of it. So managing your emotions, managing your mental health, these things also need to be managed in the same way with the same level of process. This is something that you need to integrate to the point where you're doing it daily. Like exercise, we're all comfortable with doing exercise. We understand the value. We understand the value of healthy diet and nutrition. We don't always stick to it, but we understand the value of it. And it's the same with emotional well-being, okay? Your emotional well-being has to be treated in the same way. And we have to work to the point where it is treated in the same way, where our children are being introduced to a world that encourages them to be emotionally aware and emotionally healthy. And this is the economy of the future, okay? So we're not talking about something that might happen. This is already happening, and this is how our children excel in the future. This is how we as people will excel in the future. Through understanding our emotions or through understanding who we are as individuals, understanding our self-worth and our self-esteem and our self-confidence and how to manage these things. Look at how you can start to integrate this into your daily practices. And if you're a parent, into the practices for your children, because this is the economy of the future. This is how we navigate the world moving forward. If you're struggling with that, you can DM me, contact me, and I will help you with that. Alternatively, like, share this post for anyone you care about who will benefit from this. So thank you very much for listening. Have a good day.